Mike and Bridget Parker bought Broadlands in the early 1990s from Mike's family. It was originally farmed as a mixed cropping unit, but soon after buying the farm, the Parkers became interested in organic trials being run in the region. Today, Broadlands is fully organic and vertically integrated with their company, Kiwi Organics. The Parkers' youngest son, an engineer, Toby, has joined the business and oversees their recently commissioned mill in Gisborne.
We've got 376 hectares of farmland, about 350 of flat. It's all organic, and our main core is organic maize. That's our big driver here. We've been certified for 21 years, organic, farming here for about 23. My parents came here in 1958, went straight into a big drought the first year here. It was old dairy farmland through here, and they changed tack a bit and started burning off rushes and tile draining, and which lifted the value, and also you could grow different crops. And it was sheep and cattle back then with a little bit of cropping, and now we're sort of predominantly cropping 120 hectares a year out of that area. We're in Tolaga Bay, about half a kilometre from the sea. This is our drying complex where we dry the maize. We're drying about 500 tonnes of maize, and we've got cool stores here, 150 tonnes worth of silo space, and the maize dryer. We sort of dry the maize into 1 tonne bags, and it's into the chiller to be looked after, because with organics there's no chemicals and the cool keeps the weevils out. The biggest benefit of having our own setup, our own complex, is we're vertically integrated, and being organic, no one can contaminate us or interfere with what we're doing. So we do all the groundwork, planting, harvesting, drying, and then down to the mill in town where we make our own flour and polenta. At the moment, we're up the Kiowa Road. The property's called Fenlands. It's 136 hectares, 100 hectares of flat, and about 36 hectares of hill. And that's got all good, quite new pastures through it, chicory, plantain, mainly plantain, bit of clover and bit of broom.
So how long do you think it will be before we can get some of these better ones away fed?
I'd say within 18 months. These aren't organic, they're conventional. They're just a shorter term option, take us through the winter because they're lighter stock for the flats. Market-wise with the cattle, there's a big market out there with the organic guys. We're talking to a couple of South Island chaps at the moment. The biggest thing's procuring the stock. The markets are very, very good, with good premiums. So we're working with those two guys, and also all our organic heifers. They're all NAPs, which is the American certification for that American market, and that's our big sort of drive with the cattle, but we've got room for other fattening cattle as well. What we've got here is a typical pasture. We've got plantain, red and white clovers, and a bit of timothy and broom. They're sort of a ryegrass mix, so that gives us a broad base. The hot, dry summers we don't seem to worry about dry here. The roots get right down, and we're running sort of 4 to 5 heifers per hectare, so we're reasonably well stocked up, and the pasture just keeps on growing, really. With the pastures, we treat them quite differently to the conventional farmers. Yeah, we just, like we might have mobs and we move them around. We don't sort of deck them, so to speak, right to the ground and let them come away. We always leave a bit of length on the plantain, particularly, so it just keeps on growing. So it's almost that sort of plants, the growth grows growth sort of thing. We rotate this through maize, so it might get 3 years in this crop and then into maize for a couple of years, but we can get 6 or 7 years with this pasture. It does start running out a little bit, because we're carrying quite high numbers as well. This is maize. It's food-grade maize. It's in the throes of drying down, probably another week or 10 days away from harvesting, but it's actually looking very, very good as we speak, so I'm quite pleased with it. 70% goes to the chicken farmers, dairy industry, which is good. That's sort of that's going well, and the other 20-25%'s going through our flour mill / sort of polenta mill in Gisborne, and we're all around New Zealand and into Pack and Save. And, those supermarkets have been very, very good to us and helpful, and we're also exporting into Australia. A little bit's going into Hong Kong, and around Asia there, so yeah, it's going good. We've just installed a brand new mill before Christmas, which was pretty energy sapping, but we've gotten there, and so we're probably looking at ramping up the business and going a bit harder on putting more through the mill and adding value that way. So it's onwards and upwards.
We went over to China, and we just sort of needed to make things a bit more modern and efficient and produce multiple products at one time. So yeah, maize basically goes in one end and you got sort of 10 different products coming out at the other end. It's a gritting mill, so we make mainly large grits and polentas and fine polentas, but the flours are also there as well. Organically, I think it's the only one in New Zealand. There might be one or two others. It's all completely gluten-free as well, GE-free and everything. It targets a few, it's a specialised sort of market and dietary needs, I suppose, yeah. It's all got to be quite closely monitored, obviously. You know, can't have gluten anywhere near this whole complex. Everything's got to be kept pretty clean, and auditors are pretty strict and stuff, so it's all very closely monitored on that aspect. Every hour while we're milling, we've got to be testing the grain to check that it's at the right moisture content. Obviously, if there's too much moisture in it, you can get mould growing and stuff, which is exactly what we don't want, so pretty rigorous on that. And then we've got testing of the different grades of product that comes out just to check that it's consistent. If you're extruding and stuff, it's got to be pretty bang on.
Being vertically integrated, it is hugely satisfying, and you know, we've got a good team around us now and need a couple more to lighten the workload. But no, it's been really quite pleasing to have to be in charge from, you know, like planting the seed, deciding what we're going to do, and you've got companies coming to the gate saying, well, the chillers are full, this is not right, everything's always wrong, and you sort of think, well, what do you do? So we're trying to enjoy it as well, but the days are long.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.